Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. The first cards that we have out are the High Priestess, the Knight of Wands, and also this card. This card is called the Cosmic Seed. That's also the name of the deck as well. And this card in particular, I guess we're just going to start with this, even though it's the third one out. This card is about it's about like you and I and our cosmic energy and about spirit, and it's about like us and how we extend beyond 3D. I see it as being so many different things, but it's about just our like limitless, even energetically, how we extend so far beyond that. So starting off with the High Priestess, there can be something that you're feeling, there can be something that you're sensing, there can be something that you're knowing. This can also be something that you're sort of keeping inside right now, internally too, because the High Priestess can be sort of keeping something to yourself currently, but it can also be like a feeling that you have or something that you're going to be embracing, even exploring, something that you could potentially be exploring or want to explore. Having the Knight of Wands here can be, this feels like you're going off of something intuitively that you feel called to do, that you feel inspired to do. Having both the High Priestess and the Cosmic Seed, because the Cosmic Seed is like, it feels in a way like it can connect with our dharmic path of like why we're here and what's the greater purpose and the multiple purposes that we have and sort of what we feel we want to be exploring. And so this feels like you doing something that is very connected. I almost feel like the Cosmic Seed is kind of connected with the Star card, where it can also be connected with like our potential and our dreams and what we want to explore and what we want to do and what we want to create. Yeah, some of you, there's like a project or a venture or an endeavor. And having both the High Priestess and the Cosmic Seed, it feels like there's a spiritual element to this in some way, or like a magical element, like a creative element, something like that. Something that feels different than just like your normal thing. It also feels very like intuitively inspired. The Moon. Okay. Part of the motivation for this seems like you're inspired to explore something unknown, something unexplored. The Moon is like what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on behind the curtain. And so it looks like there's something over here that you're doing where you may be like going behind there, seeing what's happening. Like exploring mysteries of some sort. And here's the Star. We have a lot of major arcanas here. Yeah, it's like hidden purpose, it feels, or like, I don't know if dharmic would be the right word for it, because dharmic can mean so many things. Like one of the meanings for it is sort of like our nature and what we do because of that, or like what we're doing, what we feel we are meant to do because of that, like what is in flow with that. Sort of like if it's in a person's nature to be very like nurturing, they may find themselves in positions of like caretaking, and like honoring that is honoring their dharmic purpose of, it feels very intrinsic to me to do that. So what I'm seeing here with the High Priestess and the Knight of Wands, it feels like you moving forward with something that you feel passionate about, because Knight of Wands is somebody that what motivates them is what's like inspiring to them. And so it's something where they feel like it lights a fire within them. Very much wands. Wands are connected with fire. To have the High Priestess here, it feels like there's a contemplative connection with this. And even this, I'm connecting with something internally where I may be, it's like a blueprint is being lit up internally that's being followed. And you may be following your inspiration as you're doing this. And then having the cosmic seed and having the moon, it feels like deeper exploration of self and even of your purpose too, and of things that are unknown. And then having the star come out too, it does again feel like it comes back to purpose of like, why am I here and what am I doing here, and what path can I follow where I feel like I'm actually exploring and honoring that too, rather than just sitting around and doing nothing or doing things that don't feel as meaningful to me. This is about doing something that one feels is meaningful to them. So it's like something that you genuinely want to be doing or that you're interested here in discovering and exploring. Like just the vibe of the moon and the star feels almost like what am I made for? Like what was I made for? What is my purpose? And then going out to like figure out what that is, or to find what that is, to discover what that is. And also your potential of like what you can be. So this can be exploring things that you don't know about yourself, or that like I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that I was capable of doing that. Like these sorts of things. Yeah, just more major arcanas coming out. I'm seeing the Hierophant, 2. So the High Priestess and the Hierophant are connecting here. They are counterparts within the major arcana. The High Priestess is, it's information that's like esoteric or occult, and it's sort of more non-traditional as far as spirituality and mysticism and those things. And then the Hierophant is like the more traditional and the more like conventional even version of that. So it's like the Hierophant can be like going through courses or connecting with a teacher, whereas the High Priestess can be more of a, like you see the more feminine energy where it can be like a more chaotic learning circumstance, or it being unconventional in some way of like, I'm not formally getting this training, but I am being trained in some way, or I am learning in some way. So I'm seeing there be a connection of these things here. Like something that's being brought together. The star and the Hierophant is also connected with like what you're aspiring towards, and also your belief in things as well. But there could be something that's stopping you a little bit. I am seeing the 4 of Pentacles here. Four of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. Feels like something may have happened with someone here. Okay, so first part of this spread, I'm seeing something that you feel very connected with, and you feel like there's this part of you that's like, hey, I want to explore this, and you feel like this is very connected with your path and with your nature, and it feels very like organic to you moving in this direction. So this is something that would feel like you're moving with the flow of things. Even if there are like unknowns about it, because I'm seeing there are mysteries that would be explored, there's like hidden stuff, there's unknown stuff, but you feel called in this direction. So it can be something where it's like, I'm gonna take a left here, And I don't know where exactly that's going to lead, but I feel very called to be doing that now. So I'm seeing you being like, you feel this pull, and that's like where you're gravitating towards. And just like having this Knight of Wands here, there's really like a fire, there's a passion for you to move in this direction, and in feeling inspired even to explore, because wands are also about exploring too, and like doing something that you really actually want to be doing. Then to have the Star and to have the Hierophant, this can be connected with, both of these cards actually can be connected too with like learning and teaching and about gaining more knowledge. Because when you think about the Hierophant, like this card specifically even is called the Teacher rather than it being called the Hierophant. And so you see like ancient wisdom and stuff like that, like traditions that are passed down, oral tradition, this sort of thing, where it would be like a studying of something, a learning of something. And the Star would be feeling like inspired to move in this direction, where something would be gained by moving this way. And also Star is what is genuinely resonating with us as well, of like, I feel moved in this direction of like, these things should be brought together. But I am seeing the Four of Pentacles and I'm seeing the Three of Cups. And at first I was like, what about this? Why are these cards coming together? Because Four of Pentacles and Three of Cups can be like holding on to what's near and dear to you, but it can also sometimes be holding on to something that's like weighing us down. And then the Three of Swords came out after. So it looks like something may have happened socially with someone. I don't know if it was like a group of people or if it was a particular person, but it seems like maybe something happened within a relationship or like a friendship or something like that, that was painful. And so there may be a resistance. I almost feel like somebody's like, yeah, I want to go in this direction, and then all of a sudden there's a wall because someone's still holding on to something here that feels painful to them, that looks like it happened in some sort of social situation. And I'm seeing the Lovers on the bottom of the deck too, so this could have been something that went down with somebody that like you felt really close with them, or you feel really close with them, but just this thing has happened, so maybe it's like really impacted your relationship with them. But Four of Pentacles can be like needing to let this go now, whatever this was that happened. Otherwise, like the motivation for doing this is that you may be stopped from like going where you're trying to go because of this. It's sort of like a wall. So pain associated with something socially, like friendships or a relationship, something like that. The vibe of having the Lovers on the deck feels like maybe somebody that you were like closer with, that you cared for a lot. Okay. Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles. This feels like a really painful interaction that happened. But something also that's meant to be worked through as well. Also too, we have Three of Cups, Three of Swords, and Three of Coins that came out. So the threes may be significant. We're seeing 3, 3, 3 here. And threes are associated with like progress and moving forward, putting things together. So I'm seeing pain that's associated with something that it feels like it's going to be worked out. Like when I see Three of Swords and Three of Pentacles, it seems like something that would be maybe like painful to relive or go back into. Like it would be a challenge because of what it's bringing up, almost like. But then having the Three of Pentacles, it's like it may be painful at first to sort of work with this person, but you would be working out the pain. So it's not just like we're going into this and it's just to relive the pain and nothing else is happening. Like I'm getting there be alluding to progress that would be made of like this thing would be addressed and it would be worked out, because Three of Pentacles is working something out. And like just having all these threes here feels very, very important. Like maybe something happened in a dynamic of three people, something like that potentially, or between three people, or just something with the threes feels very, very significant here. And then I'm seeing what's going to happen is that if one like indulges in this and decides to move in this direction, something is definitely going to be worked out, and it's actually going to work all the way out up into what someone actually wants here. And what one may have thought that they wanted could potentially be changing too, because we have the Nine of Cups and we have the Hanged Man here as well. So this can be like somebody thinking that they want one thing, and then as their perspective changes and it's like looking at it with a new lens, they may see that differently than they did before. It feels like it's especially connected with like what maybe specifically happened or about dynamics. I'm seeing it be connected with this thing socially, or these people. It doesn't just feel, even though it could have been like two main people, there could be another person that was involved. There's something like that where I feel very, I feel like even if there are two main characters, they're not the only people that were in this play of what was going on. Like there's definitely at least another person, or it was like a group of people that were connected with one another. So yeah, what I'm getting is that somebody may think that they want one thing now, but actually through this process, they're going to like realize something else. And it's interesting too, because we have Three of Cups, Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and then we have Nine of Cups. So it's like all of those things added up together then are coming into this Nine of Cups, which is it sort of being like revealed to somebody what's in their heart space and what they actually want. And to have the Hanged Man, it feels like one may have made an assumption or thought like I want this thing, and they actually want something else. So it does feel like there's going to be a realization even that wasn't there before, or a perspective that wasn't there before, something being seen that wasn't there before, that wasn't being picked up on before. Something being clarified that was unclear before. All right, let's look at this. So, High Priestess, Star, Three of Swords. This feels like somebody keeping something in, somebody keeping something to themselves here. Like, something has been very much internalized. Something hasn't been communicated. Because High Priestess can be like secrets that we're keeping, or just things that we haven't shared. Ways that we're feeling. Even like hopes and dreams that we have, because it's connected with the Star. So this can be somebody that's like, every night when I go to bed, I'm dreaming about this thing, but I'm not saying anything about it. And I'm also seeing that there's something about pain being involved in this. But I'm also like having the Star and having Three of Swords. The Star can speak about healing as well, and Three of Swords is pain. So there can be, through even esoteric means or spiritual means of some sort, or mystical means of some sort, somebody's healing something that's happened. So I'm seeing there be like implications of that here. But just starting off with the High Priestess feels like somebody sort of more privately moving through this process. Then we have Knight of Wands, and we have the Hierophant, and we have the Three of Pentacles. So this means feeling like very, very adamant and motivated about like working together in some sort of like even teaching setting, something like that. Or with knowledge of some sort. So I feel like there's a really big motivation to learn in some way, because I feel like the Hierophant's connected with that as well. But then we have the Three of Pentacles, so it feels like maybe working together with like even a teacher or something like that, or a guide of some sort, the Hierophant can be, or just somebody that has very good advice, or somebody that can like teach you about a topic that you want to learn about, or you teaching about that. Or just, this can also be, it doesn't need to be a person, it can be like books that you're reading, that sort of thing, but it's gaining knowledge in the direction of something that you're interested in learning about. And to have the Hierophant, it probably has some sort of like spiritual or philosophical or mystical element to it here, where there's more of a like world view that's being gained as one moves through this. And with the cosmic seed too, it feels like one's even learning more about themselves as they're moving through this too. To have Three of Pentacles lead to the cosmic seed, it's like somebody understanding that they're not just this like little human being in 3D, that there's like so much more than that, that this is just a character that they're currently playing. So I'm seeing somebody's like eyes opening up to the reality of them, so far beyond like all of the labels and the thoughts and the feelings and what's happened and what hasn't happened. It's like the expansiveness of one, like the spirit, the soul, just this whole, all of it, you know? So it feels like there's an awakening of sorts. And as this is happening, I'm seeing Four of Pentacles. So one could be even realizing where they had been holding on to certain things, or where they, it feels like one maybe realizing where they had been holding on to things that had been weighing them down, that were associated. Even Nine of Cups can be connected with desire. So it can be like, I want this, I want this, I want that. And there can be a release even potentially that's happening. But it feels like more in a scattered way, like something could have been being held on to. Because, you know, Four of Pentacles and Nine of Cups can even be a bit of a, like sometimes like a bit of a greedy energy too, where it's like there are a lot of things that we want, but it ends up like weighing us down because we feel so tethered and attached to those things. And it can also be like filling in spaces with things that aren't actually going to fill us up in that way. So it can be somebody realizing and like understanding this aspect of their nature, that if they're looking for something more satiating on a spiritual level, that there are certain things that aren't going to be able to like fill that space for them, you know? And maybe that was something they weren't seeing before. This can also be a push towards somebody moving into a space of being grateful as well for what they have too. And then over here, like in this last little part of it, I'm seeing the Moon and I'm seeing the Three of Cups and I'm seeing the Hanged Man. So it feels like what's hidden or what's going on behind the scenes is something having to do with the Three of Cups. So this is like something having to do with a relationship or a social situation, or having to do even with the support that one wants. Because Three of Cups is when we find ourselves in a situation where we feel like seen and understood and validated, and like we have something in common with another person. And it can represent friendship, and it's usually like seen as being happy. And this card feels like being understood, like rather than feeling like a lone wolf. Because you see these people together within this card. It's like they're walking together. There are like similarities about them. But then I'm also seeing the Hanged Man here too. So it's like maybe the way that one was seeing this, there's something about it that is going to change for them, or that is changing for them, or that they like weren't seeing before, that they're going to see something new or understand something new. Yeah, Four of Pentacles and Nine of Cups can be someone being in a spot where they're like, I really want this thing, I really want this thing, I really want this thing, but they're holding on to it like way too tightly. And it does feel like something's going to be changing about that. But I'm getting almost that like something was unknown with the moon. That like once this person realizes or finds this out, they may be ready to release something that they weren't ready to let go of before. Could have been Three of Cups can also be an event too, where something socially happened or like something between people took place. That can be a thing too. And somebody can be looking at it one way, but there can be something that they don't know about it or things that they don't know about it that it's going to change. So who do we have here? We have the moon, we have Pisces, we have Aquarius, Taurus, Neptune. Okay. This feels like a good spot to end things. So what I'm looking at is Four of Swords and Two of Coins. This feels like somebody in a spot right now where they feel like they need to maximize resting. Like that's really being prioritized. So it's like recharging, like finding peace of mind if they need to, or like getting grounded, just like centering, being still, taking a break, that sort of thing. I'm seeing Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, so this feels like self-care stuff, just like not overly exerting oneself, but more so like a recharging, and that being sort of one's focus currently, okay? All right, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.